Hey y'all, hey. So this is a requested reading on the ex-governor Justin Fairfax and Cerina Fairfax. And so I'm not gonna hold you all too long. And so I'm going to get into overall energy of what the tarot deck wants to say or what she wants to say. I'm feeling the Ten of Wands, okay? This is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, okay? There's about some type of overload, travail, exhaustion, pressure, excessive responsibility, trying hard, load is temporary, near the end. And so when I see the Ten of Wands, right, this is some type of resistance. This is like a heavy weight. I always hear bag lady, you will hurt your back, dragging them bags around like that. So this deals with the husband who was dealing with some type of responsibility and wanting to feel free, wanting to clear his name of some type of infraction, okay? There's like a burden. We also have the Four of Pentacles. This is about releasing things that don't add value to, or not holding on to things that don't add value to. And so this Four of Pentacles is Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, right? But it focused or is centered around moral or core values, okay? And it's heavy on Capricorn energy, and the root chakra was not balanced. This is stagnation, resistance, toxicities, addictions, triggers. Ooh. You have the Knight of Wands. This is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And so this is someone who could be an extrovert, someone who could be enthusiastic. This is someone who dances to their own rhythm, okay? However, there was something that was up and down about this person. This deals with like creativity. It's masculine energy, enthusiasm, willpower, discipline. It's about taking action. It's about some type of insecurity. And I'm seeing the Two of Cups between these partners, cooperation. And so there's about soulmate connection. It's like a partnership. It dealt with the heart. And so there was Cancer energy. There was a choice and a decision. This was about things became unbalanced. The love, the emotions became unbalanced in this marriage. Things became unbalanced in this marriage. The Four Wands and Heart Chakra. There's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Whenever I see the Four Wands, I think about buying a house. I think about a harvest, moving into new apartments. But I think about prosperity. I think about bliss. I think about weddings. I think about settling down and being like in harmony, in balance, okay? And so this is about like celebration. But I'm seeing the Seven of Wands followed by the Five of Cups. And so where there was once happiness, things turned. There was an energy of defense, opposition, okay? And so this Seven of Wands is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. There was an energy of advocating for oneself because someone became overly defensive and sensitive, okay? So there's about advocating for oneself, fighting for something. And then I see the Five of Cups. There's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. There's about making choices and decisions, no longer crying over spilled milk. This is about a loss of something loved. Mourning, grief, a loss, despair, regret, heavy-hearted. This is like heavy on Scorpio energy. This is about releasing. And because she felt like she had to release him because she was letting go, he did not want that. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune, the ending of a tough cycle. This was a turning point. Karma, a turn for the better for her, okay? This was unpredictable. The Wheel of Fortune, whenever I hear Wheel of Fortune, I see the Wheel of Fortune. I say Wheel or hear Wheel of Fortune. And so this is the end of a tough cycle. There was a lot of anxiety. Somebody was being haunted by loss, trouble, anxiety, panic, despair. Okay? Blaming self, nightmares, insomnia. And someone felt like they was being clever. When I see this Page of Swords, it's like an epiphany moment. She had an epiphany moment, but this is also like a delay in communication. Heavy on Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces energy. Something that was hidden was revealed. There was a lot of toxicity, a lot of emotional trauma or mental trauma, as well as emotional and mental. Jeez. Let's do this first. Please help. The energy of poverty, okay? Please help. And so he could have been crying out for help. I know she was crying out for help, or she needed help. There's a poverty mindset. The vibration of 10 is very, very significant, okay? A lack, feeling left out in the cold, heart chakra unbalanced. Abuse. There was verbal abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse. There, I'm willing to bet there was some physical abuse. Okay? And something had to come to an end. She felt like she was in bondage. Okay? There's an energy of bondage. Feeling like one's hands are tied. Feeling like their back is up against a brick wall. Love offer. So he wanted to come in with some type of love offer. When I see this love offer card, I pick up on Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, emotions. Wanting balance or wanting her to choose. There's also some type of false narrative. Okay? There's some type of false narrative. I'm seeing commitment. Okay? And so there was some false narrative that he felt like was breaking this marriage up. Okay? Or broke this marriage up. Or split this marriage apart. I'm seeing thoughts. There was a lot of thoughts centered around love or a lack of love. Nice guy. And so at one point he was a nice guy and there was enamored and he felt that he was a boss. Rising star. But there's a lot of emotional pain in this marriage. The number 5, it reminds me of the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Pentacles, a lack of self-esteem, feeling left out in the cold, crying over spilled milk, a broken heart, emotional pain, and a lot of emotional pain, emotional confusion, illusions. And he didn't want to let go of what he thought was real love. And so it's the energy, if I can't have you, nobody can. And so there's the vibration of 6 past memories, nostalgia. But I'm seeing a lot of animosity. There's a lot of animosity around her wanting to leave. And so karma, there's a lot of karma. And it's like the storm is heavy. And karma is real. And so he felt like he wanted to exact karma, but karma is going to do what she do. So there were some bad habits. drugs, addictions, toxicities, bad habits. So it wasn't just drinking that he was doing. That's what I'm getting from this. It wasn't just drinking that made him toxic or made him mean. I'm saying some type of romantic love affair, sex fix, secret lover, fuck buddy, okay? Some type of secret love affair. Low IQ. Same shit, different day. And so Cerina was tired of the same shit, different day. There were nightmares, insomnia, paranoia, anxiety, unable to sleep, sees things under eye bags, demons, bad reputation, prickly. Somebody had a bad reputation, known for cheating. Into you, good chemistry, great vibes, positive. He didn't want to let go. Boss bitch. Runs his own business, stable, busy, multifaceted. He wasn't trying to let that go. BBT energy. There was a groupie, okay? There was some type of groupie. She did not trust him. He wasn't faithful. There was some type of infidelity. There was fake smiles, okay? There was some type of dirty offer. And so she was dusting shit off. She was no longer interested, uninterested, okay? She felt like he was ain't shit. She felt like this ain't shit. He wasn't shit, ain't shit. And then I'm saying chasing. I'm also saying dirt digging and crying over you. Okay, she was focusing on her achievements. She's divinely guided. And so, Spirit, tell me to go over here. She was focusing on her goals, her accomplishments. And she had children to look out after. They had children. But there was this evil eye, okay? And so he felt as if she was unbothered. She's the rising star. And he felt like she was unbothered. And karma, he wanted to exact karma. This was her karma for trying to leave him. A person in the military, so he could have been in the military. I do know that did he shoot her? A gun was involved, because if I'm not mistaken, they thought she was stabbed, but there's a person in the military, so he could have been in the military. Stealing your energy. Stealing your energy. And money laundering. So there was some things that were hidden that was going to come out anyway, like money laundering, or he knew about people money laundering. There's like dirty laundry, stealing your energy. Trickster. This person is not to be trusted. He wore a fake mask. He wasn't to be trusted, and they broke spiritual law over this conflict, okay? They broke spiritual law over this conflict, and so this person was not to be trusted, and she was letting it go, okay? Because they were bumping heads, they were clashing. I'm also saying stolen identity, okay? Stolen identity. They are calling your phone blocked, okay? I'm also saying paid to have work done on you. So we're going to get into, we're going to see what Cerina wants to say. What's the message Cerina wants to leave the collective with? Okay. What message do you want to leave with the collective, Cerina? There's the Knight of Wands, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And so this about taking action, okay? And so she was taking action to dance to the rhythm of her own beat. She had children looking at her. And so she was taking action to protect herself and her children. I'm seeing the Eight of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. And so this took a lot. This about like mastering your emotions, grounding your energy, improving health. But this is also about some type of skill development or like personal development, personal growth that is needed with this masculine. Heavy on Pisces energy. This masculine became very, very emotional. And so she knew that eventually that if she didn't leave and she was doing the right thing, this is about, you know, balance. There's the High Priestess. And so she's very, very abundant. She's fruitful. And she was choosing herself and her children's life because she knew that this was an up and down, a back and forth between this partnership. And so she's telling you, she's telling the collective, the divine feminine, when there are signs for you to run, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, and whenever I see the Seven of Swords, I always say run. There's someone who is a backstabber, someone who thinks they're clever, someone who is brutal, someone who is chaotic mentally as well as emotionally. And so there's like these swords right here is about cutting this off, choosing you, finding balance, not being confused, knowing your value and your worth, knowing that you are enough. This Ace of Pentacles is about a new opportunity, a new beginning, grounding your energy, and knowing that you have the keys to your success or your demise. So when you see the sign, when your spirit team or divine source or the Most High is telling you to leave, do exactly that. So with that being said, you all, thank you for watching. Thumbs is up.